everybody, I'm Tina. This is To the Inner Wild. Thanks for stopping by. This forum is only open to current practitioners of love and light, and basically all that it really is 24/7, round the clock, maybe even putting in overtime, working from your heart chakra. You know, whatever level you're at, that's what you strive for. Okay? So, that's where we're at. Any other energies I do consider foul, so there's no place for you here. You must see your way out. I will not escort you because my time is more valuable. Just as my viewers. Anyway, angels of love and light, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages, my chakras, my auras, and my space, and that of my viewers. Please escort these any foul energies back to their premises, back within their own energies, and bind them, please, with their doggy bag of karma. Thank you so very much. I also welcome cosmic families of love and light, our ancestors of the like, our spirit guides of the like. Who else? Who else shall it be? Oh, I should get all dressed up. Excuse me for just a moment. And, yeah. So that's what we're doing today. Okay. Just getting situated here. Yeah. Okay. So, I got something accomplished today. Yes, everybody. I got something very important done, and there may be some follow-up questions to it, but I'm pretty good with just getting this far with what I've done, because it was so very hard. I tell ya, it was so hard. Fucking paperwork. I do not mind forms, but when you have to do run all the numbers, and then you have to revisit all the BS that someone fed to you, manipulating you, and it's insane. I am glad I've followed through with the direction that my guides and the angels have given me, because it led me this far, including remembering that I need to start reactivating moving my older videos from private to public, the things that are not so bright and shiny, oh my goodness. But it shows how far I've come, and it wouldn't have I wouldn't have gotten here without that first step, or those first few steps. So I have to give myself accolades for that. And what perfect timing. I mean, next week is Thanksgiving, and first off, you got to start from within, the temple from within. And the other part of it is, I had to get that paperwork through today, and I think my ex already knew that, because he's fine-tuned into spying on me, and hacked through my phone, and has some hidden cameras, it's immature. That's what it is. It's insecure, it's immature. It tells me that I made the best decision of my life ever so far. So, being that he stayed home and decided to, after several weeks, decided to, start harassing me again, and gaslighting me, etc., just so that it's, kind of written down on paper, or, electronically, that he communicated certain items to me. And it's so ridiculous. But my energy is better spent moving forward. And so my purpose in divulging this part to you is the fact that it was such an important step for me to like look back and visit, like start, like just even slowly one by one, like reviewing these things, like, okay, just kind of intuitively, okay, I'm comfortable with that, and I'm going to go ahead and push that one out, and then I'm going to go ahead and press the play button and see what it brings up, because I only have like a taste, like a flavor of through the description box. I don't know what the content holds until I push the play button. And so that's what I'm starting to do now. And I looking at it, you're just coming from a higher perspective, like, oh, that's my little sister right there, she's 2 years younger than I am, or 3 years younger than I am. And like, I'm not like degrading anyone, based on their age. It's just like, for me, it's like, oh, my inner child, that's a version of me, 2 or 3 years ago. And looking at that, you can see there's like so much sensitivity there. It's so much more rewarding, I have to say, than going to like another reader's input, like even like on a general or personal level, because like the person's agenda, like the agenda that you should examine the most is your own, really, right? So I'm coming to grips with that. I'll say it just, the timing is perfect to see what it was like at starting point, and there's so much, it's like, oh, sweet Tina, you're just a baby. And so we're just like still growing from there, and to be able to engage in that, like I picked the perfect reading too to activate today, and it was partially saying, I was so reluctant because it called me like a visionary, and I'm like, what? Are you sure? And anyway, part of it I didn't even realize until like today was that it's basically saying the same thing that I'm saying right now, which is like, it hinted towards the fact that when we go to others' readings, that there is also another agenda, that it's like me first type of agenda. So what they are coming to, like what kind of knowledge that they are receiving, they're not completely divulging. So if they know that somebody's going to screw you over, they're going to just let that happen. And then or if they see some particular greatness in you, then they'll pause, or they'll hide that. And I know how much energy I've put into past readers, and engaging, and trying to build that like morale, just camaraderie. And I could tell now in hindsight when people would come across certain messages and they would like manipulate, they wouldn't tell everything. Like they know that I was present, because I was very, I was a participant, like, hey, yeah, I agree. And so there was just a lot of excitement when it came to like the starting stages of it. And I have to realize not everybody is, as excited as I am when it comes to the realm. That was excellent. That was excellent to see myself, like, it was very good. And then to add add another layer to that is, while I was getting this paperwork done, which was like a must have, like I asked the angels to please help me out with this. And as you know from the previous reading, just do your best, Tina, okay? Pencils down, at a certain point, but all you can do is do your best. And the only thing that can really, like, be your worst enemy is like saying in some way that you can't do it. Just get through it. It's just like, instead of it being a multiple choice question, test, just consider it like all essay. Okay, short answer and essay. Just go with that, and everything in life is going to be a learning experience, a growth experience, and just don't make it harder than it actually is. Okay, just and so that's like, whenever I got into a restaurant, I'm like, motherfucker, okay, let's get started. let's get like resituated here. And it was that much better, I have to tell you. So it didn't take that much for me to like reestablish myself, to get things in motion again. I had very, very minimal hiccups when it came to, slight distractions. And like, the angels kind of like, they know me, so they sort of like saw a little bit of that coming, but they were very proud of me with just kind of moving things along, because anytime things got hard, I didn't just like strategize it. I felt those feelings, and came to them for help, like just sort of for some comfort, and then just got back into that mental mode of doing it, and trusting it, because every time I looked at the time, I was like, holy, I got that much in this little time slot. Like they are helping me with as much as what has been manipulated through the course of this like 20-year like engagement. It was just like the angels helped manipulate time so that I was so focused that it was like I was channeling information into the data into there. So like it was like time had slowed down, because it didn't feel like I was working like super fast or anything. I was just being very focused about this, putting full intent into just really just doing the best that I could possibly, and there's only one way to really get there, and if I just like kind of unload on that and just check that off the list, there may be some follow-up questions later, but like, by God, like I did what I could do. And just like this relationship, I did what I could do, and like I really, really, really tried. And even while trying to get these things done, I was constantly being harassed by like texts that like was just kind of like attempts at undermining me. And so I just, even when you like verbalize these things, like, oh, it just says more about their character or lack thereof, or like it shows that they're immature, they're insecure, they're just a scared little boy, or like just they don't have anything really going for them other than a paycheck, which they don't even really earn, and like trying to make me feel bad about like their mess ups. Like, no, I'm tired of living in so many yesterdays like piled on. Like, no, that's their tower moment. And yesterday, wonderful time with a friend. It was just like the key turner. Like, I'm gonna holler out a major thank you out into the universe, so it echoes, so they know exactly who helped me with that, and it's just like universal accolades. But it's so what do I want to say? It was like, okay, I didn't have to like go to social media, and like it just showed me how to really honor my here and now. So like the curiosities are going to be presently engaged rather than like checking back on something, like trying to tune into something else, to see like on a more like like to see on like a more like a greater circumference. So it's like this spiritual like FOMO almost. It's like I think maybe a lot of psychics or people who are practicing within their gifts experience that, like whether you work in dark or light or whatever. It's like the fact that you can get to a certain point, like there could be so much more, and just being able to cover that ground. So it's something to keep ourselves in check with for sure. But what else did we want to say? Yes. So bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that seeing how far I've come, like that first layer of foundation, not really anticipating that there was going to be like any shakeups with, the ex, was excellent because like I already stabilized. So with all of that, like that, would normally like make me shake, like in anger, or frustration, like I'm getting better at it because I realized even just that instance alone, I've come so far in this decision alone and all the steps that took me to here. Like, I made such a good decision, and to stick to that is like, if you're going to compare it on a difficulty scale, it would be so much more difficult staying in a relationship like that. Like, I don't even know if you could call it a relationship, but more of like a dynamic. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there was very many relations going on. You know what I mean? So like very much like real interaction, and so like when we look at it with appreciation, being Thanksgiving is next week, like I had some major, like a big learning curve to go over, and so I'm just thankful that I'm still like, within a considerable amount of youth to be able to like still pick up my pace and enjoy life and see what it's all about, and like not be super afraid anymore. And like, do you know how many people I told to fuck off? Like, seriously, like legitimately, so much liberation. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's like, this is an excellent time to just like, mention this little highlight. So what reading are we doing right now? I wanted to do another collab, but like I'm wondering like what are the next steps, because I mean, just getting that paperwork done, it was such a relief. Like, I don't know, like it was such a huge difference, like to be able to see like a younger version of me, and which was only like a couple of years ago, to now, and knowing that his behavior has always been at root like this nasty, and now that I've stepped away from it, I feel so much better about like balancing the scales, because he didn't deserve that much from me, you know what I mean? Like the world did, and so I have to look at it as like this major investment that with what my what my purpose or what my purposes are within this lifetime, it's so much more grand. And so the investment is the learning experience within this like time slot, you know. Yeah, like it's a good couple of decades, honestly. And I can just look forward to the next ones. So however that looks, like, I mean, honestly, like, when I look at, you know, the oppositions, what do you call it? The antagonists at my last job, or the immediate previous, or even just like the whole, you know, shebang. I realized, you know, like, there are a lot of haters out there, and there's a lot of people who are just like frightened, you know. So like I just gotta keep moving on, and you know, I can't keep looking back to see what, like, I don't know. I realize that, like, when I have to deal with this personal stuff, it just seems like it's a big awakening, you know, when I have to transition between personal and professional, all the woes or the trials, you know. And so when I look at, you know, having to deal with the stuff that I have to, like, within my locality, like immediate locality, it's, I guess it makes it easier to look at, you know, my previous job, my previous employers, and be like, okay, well, I made like a really good decision as well, and I don't have to have like, you know, such like a flagrant attitude with regards to it. Like, that time has come and gone, and I've already dealt with it. And even though, like, there are some that will, you know, wish me harm or whatever, that means that, you know, they haven't moved on. You know what I mean? Like, I can move on regardless of what kind of residual responses I receive from those that I already said goodbye to. So, like, what matters most is, you know, the moving forward part, because, you know, what are you gonna do, you know? Like, I've tried to, you know, stay devout, you know, make everything religious, make everything sacred. And when you realize that, you know, your investments fall flat when it's a one-way street, you know, you gotta like aim for more. There's more to life, and, you know, yeah. So anyway, I'm off to discover what that's all about, because as I have implied before, I don't even really have a bucket list going. I don't even have like a little, what do you call it? platter platter list. I don't even think I have the post-it note yet. I have to buy the post-it notes. I'm just kidding. But yeah. So what was I gonna say? Okay, so let's figure out, like, first off, I'm gonna do a first layer. The energy abound. Okay. Alright, Spirit. Oh, I also invite my besties from beyond that work in light and love. Okay. What's next? Okay, that one. Take in reverse. So give. Okay. Alright. Are we doing a holiday theme here? Let's see here. Okay. So what goes in give? I guess that one. It's an office. Maybe give is probably not the flat out, wait, we shouldn't confine it to one word. Okay, so take, another way to look at that, within the same gestures, but a different type of, vibe would be receive, right? So take would be like aggressively, like, an aggressive receipt, okay? Whereas receive would be just like openly welcoming, recipient. So, I think we're going to receive work. that's what it looks like. I mean, what, we're going to give work? I mean, I've been doing that. So, in order to give more, you have to be able to receive, right? So, that's what, okay, so boast and should came out. It tumbled over and, landed itself in upright. So, what goes in should? Okay, yeah. Okay, should watch ourselves and should be able to look out for each other as well, right? I think it's like you should watch for like what ignites us, what ignites each other, because it's like the fire in the background, right? Before we get caught red-handed, let's do some like preventative care. Let's look out for each other. Let's like watch ourselves, and just kind of be responsible, like parent ourselves, Okay, so what goes in boast? Excuse me. But like just getting that paperwork done, it's what I meant to like finish, that statement, that thought out with, is that it opens me up to, completing other things that I have going, that I don't have that constantly lingering over my shoulder like it's some other form of baggage, So, okay, what goes into boast? Okay. This landed on should, so I don't know if it goes there. I think they were maybe not done with that. So, it's internal learnings, to study, to do our homework, to do our own work, independent work, independent studies. Yeah, that's what it is. It's independent work, independent studies. Like I said, and we have to be able to examine our own agendas as well. How we're applying ourselves. So there, definitely, especially with what we introed with, which was, looking back at ourselves, our older selves, but like kind of recent version, just, yeah, I really feel like that. Independent study for sure. That's what that is. Okay, so what goes into boast? Up. Oh. Yeah, independent study. So we're like nurturing ourselves, we're mothering ourselves. So that, yeah. That's, it's what you just said, like being able to parent ourselves and say like, oh, that's a reward. Like, no matter how nasty people can be, like whether they're on the inside or on, like, they're undeserving to be on the inner circle or on the outskirts, immediate outskirts of it, waiting to tap in to your energy. No, like, he's still like, yeah. We immediately receive the benefits for what we invest. So when we engage in self-study and the discipline to watch ourselves, we're yeah, it's like an open office space. Like, we're able to receive like even more ideas. We're able to receive like, it's feng shui for reals. On the spiritual realm, in the ethers. It's being able to clear out like all of the noise. Like, okay, so you want to gossip? Go over to the water cooler. Don't be around my desk. Don't bring that energy here. Like, I need to be able to concentrate. So move your way out. And being firm. Being firm is just being serious about it. Like, yeah, be respectful in my space. Okay, I'm respectful of yours, and that's why I'm telling you, to move it on out. Okay, and so like we can both like, I I handled it with care. It may not have like felt that way on the outskirts, but for me, like, I know I cared for myself enough to be like, okay, I want the most out of life, and this scene ain't it ain't happening. Like, it's not giving. Okay, so that's where we are. Okay, is there anything else that goes into boast? Okay, so going separately, like moving. Wait, no, maybe it's coming together because it came in reversal. It didn't land on any box, so like I don't know if this is my personal inbox or what. But and then like not being stubborn. So coming together and not being stubborn. Okay, so it's kind of like in the same realm. Coming together. Yeah, I think it's how do you say it? It's not just like compliance, like making it work. It's also collaboration, making it happen. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So it's not so much as, I have to repeat this because like I'm kind of like, it's not just, it's separate, like channeling and then like receiving as well. So in two different realms. So it's it's more than compliance. It's collaborating. It's not just making it work. It's also making it happen. It's where the magic comes alive when we come together, and with the least amount of resistance. Okay. So okay, this wanted to come to me. It's change in reverse. So maybe instead of change, it's maybe like being is it steadfast is the word, or fixed, like firm. Okay, so what goes in that? Okay, receive side. Okay, so being firm and letting people like walk away. Let people like dictate their energy. No matter how many foul things, like the variations of like projections, whether that be by mouth, like verbally, or energetically, like throwing you the evil eye or talking shit behind your back, because you're not like physically there. Like, energy is very revealing, and how do I say it? The emphasis on being so persuasive is so telling. Like, oh, what's your agenda behind that? So like when people like talk shit behind your back, and with whatever validating points they might, I don't even want to say validating points, with whatever like backup they choose, whether it be like they're flying monkeys or henchmen or whatever, it's, I don't know, the truth is just revealing, you know. Uh, we shouldn't be so concerned about like how many people buy into the bullshit, because by definition that's what they understand. So if that's the truth and it's bullshit, then it's like, where people really stand, like in some or separately. And it's like process of elimination by natural, it's what do you call it, um, naturally occurring circumstances. That's what it is. Um, so like, not to be bothered by how many people buy into it, what hierarchies, what truly depicts stability amongst uh, opposing forces is the ability to um, like to know that it doesn't have to constrict you. Does that make sense? Like, if they're gonna throw a ball at you, like a spitball or whatever, you don't have to work with that force. You can just kind of like dodge it, so you gain your stability through your own foundations. Like, you didn't even have to like move like parallel in order to dodge it. You're just kind of like, you're already steady, and you just like, it takes minimal effort. So I got a lot of practice yesterday while out with a friend, and like just being able to work with energies. And by the end of the day, like, I just developed like, what a lesson for real. It's like, people, there are so many haters out there. Like, at first I thought it was like a racist thing, and or like yeah, like a racist, like, cultural thing, um like, it's just, I don't understand how people have so much hate in them when it comes to just like a stranger. I'm not even doing anything, and people just want to take from my energy, and I don't, or like throw their shit on me. Like, I don't understand it. And part of that challenge, let me give you a head start on that, is knowing that that's not your quirk. That's like, we don't even have to like just psychoanalyze them. Like, I've said it before, but like, I truly, like, I'm starting to really understand it. Like, I don't need to come up with a rationale for you. Like, that's your work, okay? That's your work. I can come up with a hypothesis, but I don't even need to, because I'm not even being paid for it. So just go on, yeah, I used to open up my readings like for everyone. Oh, go is accentuated. Yeah, I used to, because I wanted it to be like a level playing ground. Like, everybody deserves a chance, regardless of whatever economic level you come from, or whatever type of abuses you come from. Everybody deserves a chance to learn under the conditions of love. And but like, there are certain guidelines you have to have in order to protect your space, and and create a forum to be able to learn, like, safely. And you can't do that with like some like psychosis, deep psychosis, resistant psychosis, like running rampant in your space and that of like your team. And it's such a major liability to allow for that, like, that kind of mischief, like, it's, how do I say it? Yeah, I think I think you understand. Okay, so what goes in go? Accentuated. And mind you, okay, when I turned in that paperwork, do you see this? Um, that is a mosquito bite right there, and then I have another one in the back of my other leg. Every time I have to do something with regards to like communications with mailing and like exiting like these old jobs, I get like mosquito stings, like, or bites or whatever, and they hold like great significance. Like the last job that I worked, I think, well, for this particular one, I remember working. No, the one before this, it only lasted a week before I had to like step out because it was dangerous. But I was, I think, working. I worked like 5 days one week or 3 days one week and 2 days the next. And on one leg, when I had to like mail back the key at the post office or whatever, because I was not going to come back in because it was that it wasn't like it was more dangerous than it was foul, but it was both. Okay, like immediately dangerous. So uh, so I got bites on 3 legs. I got 3 legs. I got 3 bites on one leg and 2 on the other. And then for this past job, there was something where I had to do something. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the situation because I forgot to like engage and talk about it. But it was something like, because I worked 2 days on one day on 1 week, that final week, and then I was something about, I forgot, it was 2 days a week. Oh, okay. I was in office 2 days, like working and then working remote on the rest, but 2 days in office. That on my, what is it? The 2 week notice. So that first week I worked 2 days in office, and then that last week out of the 2 days I only worked 1 day, the final day in office, and that was like I was like, fuck this, I'm not gonna finish out the whole day just so that they could take advantage of me for X amount of hours. Like, my time is precious, and it's not worth like what they intend on taking from me on those final hours. Fuck that. So I got, the next day or so, 2 bites on one leg and 1 bite on another. And I was telling my older son about this, what happened when I decided to put in my 2 week notice. And during those 2 weeks, he got like massive amounts of mosquito bites. And it was just it started the time that I told him what my intention was. So do you understand like how much foul energy is out there? Like, it's so ridiculous, because it's like no matter what they do, they realize they lost a really good thing. Like, I was their good luck charm. And the fact is that they can't undo what they've already done. And it's like, no matter how much like chaos and bullshit they decide to like bring my way, it's like, how are you gonna do like this whole reverse psychology thing? Don't you know like it doesn't work on me? Like, or even like the manipulations are not, I'm not cool with it. And it's like all of these things telling me I'm doing such an excellent, not just excellent, I'm doing a superior job than most would have done in my shoes. And being able to notice, like, the various examples of where I can self-validate, where I don't have to turn to like the next person or have to worry about FOMO or the popularity contest or like when I'm gonna like be famous or when I'm gonna like when am I gonna start earning money for the things that I'm really 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 good at. When am I gonna have to stop like, you know, basically validating somebody for like possibly winning a pissing contest or admiring both pissers, you know what I mean? Like, what? I was not brought down here to live that kind of life and admire the pissers. You know what I mean? Like, no. And there's more to life than just being pissed about it. So let's get through this. Okay, so what doesn't go accentuated. They wanted me to talk about it like that, you know. It's I'm realizing it because like, come on. Okay, so go, and this is in reversal, so no need to feel cornered anymore is what they're saying. Like, there's so much open range. That's what they're saying. So when they say like, are you like on your marks, get set, go, like there's no clear direction that we're like set upon. Like, just the fact that we're moving out of this corner is just the fact that knowing that no one can really corner us, as you know, with how far we've come. Like, we've learned our lessons. We've taught others, you know, given them a head start. I mean, just learning this on our own, it also speaks to the same volume to them. Like, you know, how do you think we got here in the first place? It's like they're trying to like project onto us like what they're experiencing, you know. They're trying to do a dump off. So, is there anything else that goes in go accentuated? Oh gosh, that's a lot. It's okay. So we have the bird like kind of swooping down. Okay, and then we have two people like talking, like walking around the block. Okay, we have our auric fields and the yield in reverse. So yeah, they said like we don't have to yield towards another's like agenda, yield to another's like intent. We have our own, like, we're strong enough now. We're building our auras, we're fortifying them, starting at base level. You know, we're not working on ego base, so we're not working from the exterior down to the inwards. We're working at base level, at core, and it like exuding that out, like growing, like unfolding almost. But it's more like expanding as well. Whereas when you work with ego, it's kind of like a shrinking type of thing where you just kind of like hope that like osmosis will work. It's like fullest, you know, based on like how the world validates you, you know. So it's like it's a shrinking effect where you realize, oh, there, like I'm really just a little person built by like all these shells, you know what I mean? You know, the exteriors, you know, and so it's being able to like turn our back, like even if we just like have, you know, one other person to converse with, or even if it's like we realize like we're like in the back, you know, just watching, you know, these people like walk off, like just being okay with that, being okay with like a stand apart, what that looks like. It's like it's quiet out there anyways, you know, that even when people like are conversing and talking, you know, when it comes to being like whether you're an extrovert or introvert, the fact that you stand apart says a lot, you know, the decision to stand apart, to be able to go to greater lengths, and like just like that, to stand apart, like swooping down, you know, when a bird sends like you know, a sign of hope, it's more like they're flying upwards, right? They're like soaring through the skies. Who says you can't soar by like doing like jet moves and like doing like these crazy aerial acrobatics, you know, like to be able to stand apart also means like changing the terms of what that looks like. Yeah, so again, like, going back to that reading, like, we're visionaries. And because of that, we're going to receive more work. This is our header card. I don't know, like, the exactness of it, and it's not my job to figure out the exact detail, because, again, you kind of, like, you're taking the magic out of it. Like, just, they're, how do I say it? They're saying just to be open. And the fact that we're doing, like, self-independent study and being able to watch ourselves and, like, look out for each other, like, we're already setting, like, not just the, doing the groundwork and cementing that, but we're setting the baseline for others, Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to pull one out from Heya. Oh, okay. Victim in reverse, so, it's being the hero. You know what song is coming through? I know you know. I need a hero. Something. I don't know, but it's very oh, like there's a whip on the bottom. So yeah, it has that like it exudes that confidence, like that battle cry roar. So I feel like that's the energy behind that. But hero. Okay, so that okay. So this is what came through. It's the playground, like going down a slide is muted, as well as cutting through fabric. Red fabric is also muted. Being a hero. Okay. What are we getting from this? Because I'm immediately noticing that they're wearing red sweaters, both of them. So we're both realizing that we're cut from the same cloth. So when we are able to like save ourselves from situations, we're also saving others, because we're looking at like the hero mentality rather than the victim. And you see it, like I'm seeing cracking the whip, and then you see the red there. So when we are able to like be more disciplined, and crack the whip on ourselves, we're setting an example for others. The baseline, again, it's just re-fortifying, like re-emphasizing that, without being like, I told you so, like you should be doing this, you should, rather than being like the point your finger kind of thing. It's more like, oh crap, I did this, I did that, and then I did that, and then it worked out, so it's okay. So it's being able to like really get things going, like with that exuberance, and knowing that like there's a lot of relatability in what we go through. In picking our battles, we also have to gain clarity in the fact that just because things look differently for us doesn't mean that we need to ostracize ourselves from the rest. I think that's the way they want me to word it, because it came naturally. But I was thinking more along the lines of, which is totally valid, which is, I guess that's the way they want, because I'm drawing a blank now, okay? Yeah, but it's also knowing like when to cut things out, some people are not, always vibing with you on, yeah. So, like not letting others restrict your playtime, your growth, your ability to like when you descend, that it's going to also be a fun process. That when you put yourself at like these great heights, let's say like, okay, I've been, with this person for like 20 steps, 20 years, right? And and now you have to be able to descend from this pedestal of like this idea, this concept that, oh, it's such a big investment because I invested like, this height of the years, and everything's supposed to be like wonderful or whatever. But like knowing you have to take yourself down from the pedestal, realizing that like oh what do you call it, I just got like shit does stink, like on higher levels, you know what I'm talking about, like the stink rises, so like you can smell it even more up here, if anything, like it still reaches you. So it's like, I don't know, yeah, so I think that's enough in explaining it, but being able to descend from there like gracefully and with as much confidence as possible. Like at some point, even like death do us part, right? So it's being able to understand like there's going to be a letting go, in any arrangement. So to decide, how do I say it? Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just like a matter of time. So, think about it like a water slide. You don't see at the very end. And especially if it's steep, it's, pretty scary, especially if it's your first time, right? So, yeah, that is what we're looking at. Like, yeah, flying right through it. Okay. And it's funny because like on a slide you can't really buckle up on the ride, so it's like having that victor type of energy, like I'm gonna go for it, and it's gonna be awesome. So there's that, and I'm gonna pick one from the deck. So grief. Okay, so what goes in there? I did not expect that, but that's okay. Okay, so so the only like heartache would that would be projected is like your own imprisonment, because the black and white here stripes, but it's like that energetic pull of I don't know, like it's kind of like you have your own, like there's a power that kind of is magnetic, but can also be your own worst enemy. So this could be like Thor, like drawing in the hammer, but it's also like you could be your own worst enemy and like hurting yourself. You see, like there's the black and white. Okay, so just reminding yourself that I think Spirit is saying at this stage, wherever we're at, that we could be our, like in the previous reading, that we could be our best ally or worst enemy. That's all there is to it. All right, let's do some bananagrams. I didn't think we were going to be, ending on this note with, just these cards, but giving us an energy read. It's telling, it's telling at the stage that we're at. So M fell on change in reverse, which was, what did we say what that was? Being firm and fixed. So M. Okay. IONPROTNMOEUEENO. Okay. So I have Pryor. Some of you know Richard Pryor is with a Y, so it's Pryor like before. Moen. That's like That's a brand, like a bathroom fixture type of brand, like hardware. Um, neoprene, is that like for swimming, like the or like what wetsuits are made out of? So when they say like just keep swimming, just keep swimming, but knowing that we're equipped now with the appropriate like high tech gear, that like it's the second skin. So we've earned our second skin, is what Spirit is telling us. NEO. Some of you might also like do kind of water sports too. NEOP. Neoprene or neoprene? I think I have to look this up. I think maybe it's not. Let me look it up. Oh, well, okay, so we have enough letters. So it's PRENE. So we have enough of the E's to be able to have that. So prior is still correct, but, I think neoprene is like exact because there's enough E's and like, but prior is still correct. They just want me to go with neoprene. So, I also have triune, so it could be like maiden, mother, crone, or Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Oh yeah, definitely, it's still there. So we have like all facets of the of like the Godhead, or the divine, like cosmic, mother. Yeah, that's insane. Okay, I didn't know we could get both, but we had it. Okay. So I have 2 M's and 3 O's left. I have room. Oopsie. Room. So, I'm feeling like there's room to grow. That like I think that's what Spirit is saying in different facets. That just as there's different facets of Spirit that exist, that are all omnipresent, that we should see ourselves in that same light. That we're not just multifaceted, but that there's ability to expand within each facet as well. And then we have MO left, so maybe rom, like, romance. But it could also be could be mop, cleaning things up. I don't think that would hurt, like mop, yeah. Yeah, being able to clean up after ourselves, because if we're coming in after like water sports, like instead of like muddy feet that we're walking in, it's like wet feet, on the floor. So it's being able to like clean up after ourselves, to make sure that there's minimal room for error, like slips and falls. Let me see if there's anything else here. I also see Omen. Oh, she's and moo, like a cow. So happy cows make happy cheese. Something like that. Yeah, I like that. Moo. Moo. I also see moon here. And Mo. So Mo is a singer, an artist. I'd say like progressive, most definitely. So I'm going to put mop here for right now. But there's also mom here. So being able to like boast, like we did it for ourselves. Oh, that's what it is. It's mom. It's saying that we did it like for ourselves, like, and we just like made it happen. Yeah. Okay, let me show that to you so you'll know what that looks like. So there we are. Okay. Thanks for joining me. I hope that helped you out. I hope you have a wonderful day. And now that this reading is officially over, I close out all portals that have been opened. I thank you to my supporters and my sponsors, as well as my team that assists me with divination and protects our space. That's it for now. Okay, bye.